Yo, yo, yo. Hey, guys, welcome back to another awesome edition of the Best Practices Show podcast. You ever thought the speed of the world is picking up? I need to get more out of my days. I want to feel better about my days. Well, today I bring on Jenni Poulos, one of our amazing coaches here, and she shared a concept that truly transformed my life. And I want you to borrow the concept. Today we talk about 6 items you are missing to transform your day-to-day life. Please use this concept. It works. You'll love your days. So listen up. I know you'll enjoy it. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, welcome back to the Best Practices Show podcast. You ever think, I got to improve my days? There's got to be a better way to improve my day. Somehow my days have to get better. Well, today I have Jenni Poulos on, who's an amazing coach here at Act Dental. We're going to share 6 items you're missing to transform your day-to-day life. Jenni, thanks for being on.
Hi, Kirk. You know I love being on here with you. Super excited about this today, as always. I love actionable things that you can do now with literally nothing but your brain and a piece of paper. And this is one of those things that you can take action on immediately that will literally change your life.
Yeah, and I will piggyback on that. It will change your life. So Jenni introduced this to me, and I use it. And it works. It works so well. I'm so excited to share this whole concept with you guys. And it's actually quite simple, but it just changes your day-to-day life. So let's talk about the problem before we get into the what and the why. What's the problem, Jenni?
So never in my years and years and years of coaching have I walked into an office and had a dentist or a team member tell me, you know what? I have so much time available in my day. I always know exactly what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. I start it and finish it without distractions. Said no one ever.
Ever.
Ever. Especially in this world.
Yeah.
The dental practice is crazy. We are always pulled in a million directions. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So without a plan for our days, we end up functioning always in reactive mode.
Yeah.
And what we really need to do is move out of this reactive mode and into a proactive mode to create efficiency, have a more predictable day, and we just become way more productive and our days are happier.
Yeah. Totally agree with what you're saying. Now, we're going to couple that with a couple natural existing why challenges in the world. We have a coach, her name is Jamie, and she says busyness is a focus problem. While I'm not an expert on burnout, we do help dentists with those challenges. And what we find is this: the world is picking up in speed. It's going faster and faster and faster for all of us. And now if you're watching the video version of this podcast, I'm just going to show you. So this is my phone, and I have 849 unanswered text messages. That freaks most people out. Now, by the end of this podcast, it'll be close to 852, 855. By the end of the day, it'll be close to 900. Now, is it a good idea for me to try to keep up with that? Absolutely not. I would never get anything done. I should probably stop giving people my cell phone number. But that's one issue. But the thing is we all have different challenges. If you don't plan the day and you don't focus during the day happens to you. Yeah. And I've lived in that circumstance where you're trying to keep up with all the requests. At the end of the day, I want to ask one question, Jenni, to myself, and I'm sure everybody listening is, did today matter? Was it a great day, and did I move closer to my goals? So take us through this story of how you introduced this to me and where it came from.
We love stories, and this was introduced to me actually as a story. So you call it the Big Six. This is actually called the Ivy Lee method. So the story goes, in the early 1900s, Charles Schwab, who at that time was a steel titan, one of like the second biggest steel company in the country, he was looking for ways to increase his productivity. He wanted to beat out the competition and become number one. So he had a consultant named Ivy Lee come in, and he said, if you can give me 15 minutes, I will show you and your executives the way to get more done. And Schwab, I can see him laughing through this. Well, how much are those 15 minutes going to cost me? Right? And he said, nothing. Unless it works, nothing. In 3 months, you can send me a check if it was worth it. So 3 months later, Ivy Lee got a check for $25,000 from Schwab that said, thank you, you changed my life. Wow. Today, that's like a check for $400,000 for 15 minutes of his time. So that's the story. Let's talk a little bit about what he said in those 15 minutes.
Right. Let's go there.
Okay. So this is the method. What he said is, at the end of your day, I want you to write down the 6 most important things that you need to accomplish tomorrow. Not more than 6. So spend a few minutes, think about it. What are the 6 most important things? Prioritize those items in order of their true importance. Not what I want to do, not what's easy to do, what's really important. Then when you come in tomorrow, get to work. Concentrate on the first task. Work on that first task until it's finished, and don't move on to the second until you've taken it to completion. Approach the rest of your list in this same manner. At the end of the day, anything that's not done moves to the list tomorrow, and you rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
so pretty simple.
It's pretty simple, but what is simple is not often easy. And really, so I'll give you the backstory on this. So we do a lot of meetings here. I love my team, and we have a lot of fun, and we also work hard. And for years, I would show everybody, do you guys, and I would hold up my notebook. So I have this printed notebook. Do you guys see my day? And just to get them giggling, I would go, look at my to-do list. And my to-do list would run the length of the page. And Jenni would repeatedly say, we're tired of looking at your to-do list.
Stop showing me your list, Kirk. I don't care.
No one cares. Now, that's problem number 1, because I would put everything out. Number 1, it was therapeutic for me to start a day and just dump everything out of my brain, and that was coming at me into a big, long list. And I do like lists. I like just being able to get them done. That's problem number 1, is I put everything on the list. Problem number 2 was, if you're like me, you got a lot of things coming at you. You don't pick the best one. You sometimes pick the easiest one. So for me, it's like, oh my gosh, that's really hard. I'll just call the landscaper today because I have to talk to the landscaper about a shrub that I'm putting in the back. And that was just an easy phone call. And so boom, boom, boom. Oh, we got that done. And I felt good putting a line through the list. The challenge was I was scoring too many few points. There were too many like 1-pointers when I could be scoring big points for other things. When I started doing this, it was transformational. And you do have to stay away from the multitasking. Like go back to the important, you finish one at a time in order of importance. Why? Go deeper on them.
So we talk about why this works, right? This is conceptually, this is so simple. What are the 6 things that I want to do? Why did it work? One of the main reasons that this really works is because of this myth of multitasking.
Right.
It's not a thing. Our brain can only focus intentionally on one thing at a time. What you're actually doing is called switch tasking. Your brain is jumping from one thing to another. And every time it does that, it has to refocus. And the work that you're doing ends up not being as high of quality, and it takes you longer. So you need to stay intentionally focused on one thing until it's done. give it your full attention, and then move on to the next.
Yeah.
Now, I have had dental team members, I've presented this to doctors and dental team members, and they're like, this is ridiculous. Do you know what it's like in the dental office? I'm like, yes, I've worked in a dental office for 20 years. I know exactly what it's like. This doesn't mean I don't answer the phone. This doesn't mean that I don't deal with the patient in front of me. This doesn't mean I started doing payroll, so sorry, Crown Prep that's in seat 2, I'll be there when I'm done. This means that the task that we're working on, if we have to step away from it because of these other things, when we can come back, we get back into that. We give that our attention. It doesn't mean ignore everything that's going on around you. It means what's the most important? Stick with it until it's done.
Yeah.
Then next, stick with it until it's done.
Yeah.
For extra credit, you can read this book, The Myth of Multitasking, How Doing It All Gets Nothing Done. We just talked about this at our To the Top, which was amazing. Dave Crenshaw. It's a great book that helps you really understand this concept about how multitasking is robbing you of productivity.
It robs you of productivity. It also robs you of accuracy, and it robs me of energy. So when I'm multitasking, I'm burning twice as much fuel. And so, again, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, I'm just going to show you today. So today, I'll show you how I use it. I do exactly what Jenni's talking about. I try to do it the night before as many times as I can, because that's the key piece. And I write this thing called Big Six. Those are the big 6 things I need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so I write those down. And then I write this list of others. And others are everything. And actually, I'll give you an example today. So Big 6, I have to do some website edits. And I also have to do some video work. And those take time. I have to dedicate some time to do those things and sit down. Now, on my others list, I've got, I got a drywall thing that has to be fixed at home. I've got some other tiny little things. All of this stuff has to get done. But as you can imagine, here's how I think. 1 point for the others, 6 points for anything on the Big 6. At the end of the day, I just want to say to myself, did I get anything done that mattered? Is it moving closer to my life and business goals? Because we all have so much time. One more thing that happens for me, Jenni, is when I start staying focused on the Big 6, the others, not all of them, but some of them fall away. When you get a big one done, you're like, wow, that just, I hate that noise, but I'm like, wow, that just knocked off 2 of the others because I did the big one. So it really requires you, number 1, to think. Like you have to think. This is not a do, this is a think. Explain that one.
And this is right. So this does require you to actually think about what's important and to prioritize. And just that process of putting a little thought to your day, thinking about what are my priorities, what do I need to do, helps you get that higher score, get those big 6 things done, right?
Yeah.
In a world where we have so much competing for our time and attention, if we don't set priorities, something or someone is going to end up setting them for us. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. And there's nothing that drives you crazier than when you're a dentist and you're talking to a patient or you're doing something and somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, doc, 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 doc. And you go, what? Or, Jenni, I also suffer from decision fatigue. Can you explain what that is? That's a big deal.
This is another big reason why this works, right? So when we prioritize, when we make this plan, we fight off this decision fatigue. And this concept of decision fatigue, it's mental exhaustion that results really just from the sheer number of decisions that you need to make in a day. I saw something recently that said the average adult makes 35,000 decisions in a day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of decisions, right? So what happens is we become overwhelmed with these decisions, and this results in procrastination,
right?
Poor decision-making, and burnout. We waste time because I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to start. So a little bit of focus on making the plan. And this is why the evening before can be really beneficial, because you show up the next day and you know where to begin.
Right.
It's one less decision that you need to make. And when you're done with that, you know the next important thing that needs to be done. So you're making a plan for your decisions. You're prioritizing for yourself, and you can stay focused. It's one of the big reasons why this works.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we teach dental office is this: the world's going to get complex, days get complex, schedules get complex. You have to fight complexity with everything you have. You have to make them simple. I say this to leaders all the time. One of the best things you can do is say more with fewer words. Think about that. Take your day, and as complex as it is, make it crazy simple, because your brain, talk about like the simplest explanation and how it's the best one.
This is the reason. This is the number one reason why this works, because it's easy, because it's simple. I love, right? We talk about the KISS concept, keep it simple, stupid. That originated, I think, with the Navy SEALs in the 1960s, right? Take the easy path. This is something that's well known in scientific thought and problem solving. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of Occam's razor, but it basically says the simplest explanation is usually the best one. Right? All things considered equal, the simplest explanation, the theory that's easiest, it's the best one. It's the one we should go with.
Right.
We look for excessively complex solutions to our problems. We do it over and over again. I have downloaded 17,000 apps to make me more productive.
Right.
Guess how many of them I still use?
Well, I was just going to say that too. This doesn't require software. It doesn't require some pre-printed, graphic, beautiful paper. It doesn't require a dry erase board that you have to special order. It's a piece of paper. And just to review, what you do at the end of your day is write down the 6 most important things. That's rule number 1 for tomorrow. That you have to accomplish tomorrow. Then you have to prioritize them to their true importance. Step number 3 is you work and concentrate on only one task at a time until you finish one at a time. Do I get all 6 done? Never. I've never gotten all 6 done. I've gotten 4 done. Actually, I've gotten 5 done one. I got 4 done a couple times. Typically, I get 3 of the 6 done, but those 3 make me feel so good. Then, Jenny, if I don't get the other 3 done, what happens?
Just goes to the list tomorrow.
Right. And hopefully your list is not urgent. That's key. Most of the things on my big 6, I'm thankful, are proactive things that I should be doing that are big investments of time on my side, but they're proactive. They're not like fires burning that I've got to put out. Those do happen every once in a while. So just some good things. I promise you it'll change your life, as it always does. We got to get the more out of our days. Jenny, any last thoughts you have?
Don't overcomplicate things. I said at the beginning, I love this. I love that we are bringing this today, because when there are things that are easy and actionable that we can do right away, we would be silly not to. So just pause, focus on what matters. Don't try to do too much, because when we're focused on nothing, we are distracted by everything.
So well said. Usually the biggest problem in everyone's world is we don't give the best energy to the things that matter most. Biggest part is figuring out where I need to put my energy and get them done. Get her done. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Jenny, stick around while we say goodbye to everybody else. But thank you guys for listening to the Best Practices Show. Please try this. I promise you it'll transform your days, and you'll get so much more out of them. You'll enjoy your life. You'll feel like, wow, this was a good one, a good day. Tomorrow's a good day. The next day is a good day. And keep going at it. So if you guys enjoyed today, just do us a favor, hit the share button, share this with your friends. Keep sending us suggestions for things that you guys want to see. We're lining them up. And until we see you next time, or you hear from us next time, keep watching or keep listening to the Best Practices Show. You guys enjoy your day.